National Road 4 is a 1,200-kilometer-long obstacle course. I pray to God every time that I arrive in one piece. It's a sticky bog through which hundreds of drivers struggle every day to advance just a few hundred meters. The road is a virtual open-air prison. I've been here for 4 days. If we don't do something now, the people of Kisangani will die of starvation. The Congo has been called a giant with clay feet. It's 4 times the size of Texas. Just 2% of its roads, though, are asphalted. Yet it's an immensely rich country. Gold, diamonds, and precious metals could have made it one of the wealthiest nations on earth, were it not for the ravages of 40 years of dictatorship and chaos. Anise's truck starts to resemble a skyscraper. With a tower of cargo, the truck will pitch and toss at every bump. Tighten the ropes. Its weight alone could tip the truck right over. We have to fasten everything because of the roads. If anything moves, the whole lot will tumble, and we'll never make it to Kisangani. To carry the extra 2 tons of weight, the mechanics try their best to reinforce the truck. We're replacing the suspension to deal with the awful road conditions. The strengthened suspension provides Anise with some peace of mind. We're hopeful when we drive. We never know when we'll get there, but we'll fight our way through and make it. And fighting is the best way to describe how to tackle roads in the Congo. The 1,200 kilometers between Goma and Kisangani are an epic odyssey. As soon as you exit Goma, the road turns to track. Unexpectedly, after 250 kilometers, there's a stretch of 60 kilometers of proper surface, all too quickly left behind. That's the end of the Yitsha road. From now on, it just gets worse. There are a lot of accidents on this road. I pray to God to give me strength to drive the truck and to protect us against all the perils of the road. The truck is struggling under its exceptional load. Good job I changed the suspension. Anise is pleasantly surprised. Apart from one large hole, the road's been quite good, and he's making a steady 20 kilometers an hour. By day 4, he's closing in on Mambaza, the town that marks the halfway point of his journey. I should have reached Mambaza by 8 p.m. at the latest, unless the truck breaks down. The next morning, his truck is acting up. I have to stop, there's something wrong in the back. I'll check, but I think I've broken down. It's the chassis split. 2 extra tons have taken their toll on the truck. Luckily, he's not transporting perishable food. Help would only show up 10 days later. Anise is discouraged, yet he doesn't realize the breakdown has actually saved him from disaster. The road is about to claim another victim. Eric, aged 43, is an experienced driver. Let's go. The road network began to get worse at the same time Congo was granted independence from Belgium in the early 1960s. Eric remembers the days when National Road 4 was trouble-free. Before, problems like this rarely arose when the road network was good. When the road was in good condition, the going was good. Since it's impossible to know how long a journey might last, the drivers are paid per trip by the transport companies. Eric earns €200 for each return journey. Whatever I do earn, it's to feed my family, to send them to school. So now you see it's difficult for me. He can easily double his salary by taking passengers on board. He has 20 for this trip, and all of them paid the equivalent of $10 to get to Kisangani. It may be uncomfortable, but it's the best and cheapest way, according to the travelers. You can go by minibus, but it's more expensive. I prefer trucks to minibuses, because trucks can deal with any kind of situation. A truck is more powerful. It can force its way through the worst of the mud. The only alternative to National Road 4 is to fly, but the tickets cost 20 times as much. A fortune. 70% of the population survives on less than €1 a day. God's will is always done. It must be His decision to make me poor. There are about 30 toll booths like this along the way. At each one, the fee is €4. The money is meant to be used to maintain the road, but it usually ends up in the pockets of the bureaucrats. Kilometer 380 is a perfect example of this kind of racket. The road here is little more than a swamp. Eventually, Eric has to ask his passengers to get off. It's too dangerous to stay on board, as the potholes cause the truck to shake violently the whole time. Here we have to stop to try and fix the hole that's in front of us. The bus is still there. The minibus has been stuck for about 5 hours. Come on, dig. This is where it starts to happen. This is where the small holes are. And there are some very old holes along the 300-kilometer stretch. Ahead is a truck that's got stuck inside a hole, and you can hardly see it anymore. It's the mother of all holes, and these are the grandchildren, the newborn. No one wants to spend the night out here. All the men, Eric included, lend a hand. You're not pushing hard enough. We'll never get through that, guys. There's no other help here, so we need to help ourselves. Article 15, it's literally about how best to make do and survive. And it's no joke. Back in the 60s, the province of South Kasai really did introduce an Article 15 into its constitution. making do as best you can. It's what most Congolese have to do every day, and helping your neighbor is part of it.
Par la volonté de Dieu, je vais passer.
With God's help, I'll get through. It's Eric's turn to get stuck in.
Sans solidarité.
Without helping each other, I don't think there's any way we'd be able to make it on this road. In any case, this is the road from hell. Eric picks up his passengers again. But getting up onto the roof requires agility. Kivu province has been ravaged by war for more than 20 years. Rebels have been trying to get hold of its natural resources, such as gold. Some locals have taken advantage of the chaos to attack travelers. There are a lot of bandits here who stop the vehicles, then take the drivers or passengers hostage and demand ransoms for their freedom. You're not scared? Of course we're scared. But then you don't eat, and if you don't eat, then you become a bandit too.
Vous deviez bandit aussi.